All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. I got a comment in one of the videos that we recently did from DeMarcus Miller asking if I can talk about three high safety alignment or the alignment when we're trying to play this three high safety defense. So, going to cover a little bit of that today. Make sure you check out some of our partners, Dome Hats, which is the headwear company that I use with Play Fast Football, and the school that I'm currently at, completely customizable. Check out Dome. Baker Sporting Goods, who provides us with our uniforms, coaches' shirts like this, players' spirit packs. Anytime we do a team store, we use Baker's. Make sure you check out Baker Sporting Goods. JustPlayFB, which is the play drawing diagram tool that I use, the software that I use to diagram and draw plays. It's got a couple unique features that can really help educate your players on game plans and your playbook. So make sure you check out Just Play GameStrat, sideline replay system we use. If you're looking for a highly reliable, highly affordable sideline replay system, check out GameStrat, Difference USA, ultimate striking machine. Get thousands of reps without needing a partner. HighandTight, which is a ball security training aid, instant auditory feedback. It'll beep when the ball is held in the proper position. If the ball isn't held in a proper position, you won't hear the beep, so you know that you're doing something incorrectly. And then StandPerfect is training aid that we use for trying to build consistent, repeatable stances without losing reps using buzzwords or having to move people's feet around or telling them heel toe, instep, 6 inches, 4 inches. You put the StandPerfects on the ground exactly where you want the kids to stand. Line them up, say, hey, this is where you stand in your stance. If you're right foot, you're playing the right side of the line and you're some type of instep or heel toe, and you want the right foot back, this is where your feet go. Put them in, get comfortable. That's your stance. You can get reps over and over again and build that consistency that you're looking for. So, again, in talking about the three high safety stuff, I think one of the things that you got to keep in mind, and at least for us, one of the things that I thought about right away was the fact that we really aren't changing our coverage structure. We're not changing our split field coverage structure. All we're doing is we're playing a third safety that really, in essence, is acting like a Mike linebacker from a coverage standpoint. So for us, it was the ability to take our split field coverages and morph them into the three high safety system and be able to play all the same things. And really, we're only teaching one player something new, and it was basically taking a hybrid safety linebacker type and teaching him how to play like we would play our Mike linebacker to the passing strength off of a number 3 when you're playing split field coverage. So for us, if we were going to, if we were seeing a 2x2 alignment, all right, our middle safety is always going to align off the number 3. So if the number 3 is in the backfield, he's going to take an alignment off of that. We're going to play him at about 8 yards deep, okay, and we're probably going to play him about 1 yard outside number 3 when he's in the backfield. So when number 3 is in the backfield, we're going to play him about 8 yards deep and probably about 1 yard outside number 3. Haven't had any live reps yet with run fits, so depending on how we feel about our run fits, from if we're going to play from tight front, what we're trying to do within those run fits, we're going to get to a situation where, now we'll possibly change the leverage of his alignment, but he's always going to line up off number 3 because essentially, all right, if we are playing 2 read, all right, to each side, essentially in a 2 read system, you'll have an inside linebacker that is always responsible for 3 vertical, or he's always responsible for alert pushing when 3 tries to push wide with width, okay, and that affects your swing deep of 3 player, and it makes him wide, and so now that Mike linebacker has to relate to that. Well, our middle safety now becomes that guy. So in split field coverage, middle of the field open, all right, even though this looks like it's middle of the field closed defense, it's really still middle of the field open defense in principle, because our safeties are not going to close the middle. They're playing 2 read on each side. All right, or we could play quarters or robber on one side, however we want to do it, but the middle of the field is still open, and somebody has to be responsible for 3 vertical. So anytime you're playing quarters or 2 read or an adaptation of quarters, usually you have a Mike linebacker that is responsible, or an inside linebacker that is responsible for 3 vertical. So by playing the 3 high safety structure, you're just replacing the role of the Mike, okay, with the middle safety. So we take the Mike out of the equation in coverage, and we make the Mike either an add-on rusher, or we make the Mike a spy player on the quarterback, however we want to do it within the game plan, the mic is really not accounted for. So when you look at the coverage structure, all right, I'm just going to put a circle around the mic right now. The mic is not in the coverage. Okay, so we don't count the mic in the coverage when we're playing our base 3 high safety defense. So without the mic in the coverage, we have to replace him somehow. The middle safety is the guy that replaces the mic, which means he's got to relate to number 3. He's got to be able to play a number 3 vertical. All right, so we can still play 2 read to each side. All right, and now our middle safety becomes the guy that is responsible for playing the vertical routes of number 3. All right, so all we've really done is we've taken that third high safety, or that middle safety, Joker, Aztec, whatever you want to call him, and we've made him play like a mic as far as his pass drop is concerned, or his pass distribution is concerned. All right, and then there's a couple different ways, and guys do it different ways, but in the run game, there's a few different ways you can fit him depending on the front you're playing and how you're trying to fit things. He could be a guy that could possibly fit front side if you're going to allow one of your overhangs to play the quarterback. If you're trying to get +1 on the quarterback, he could be a guy that kind of runs that J path, where if he were to get, you know, any type of inside zone away, all right, he can run that J path where he's in here and then falling back on the Q to get an extra guy on that quarterback. Okay, but he's really there in pass coverage to make sure that 3 can't go vertical. All right, so you're going to see, you'll see it in 7-on-7 a bunch. You don't see it in live situations, but you've always got to be able to account for the fact, what if this guy can get vertical down the field, who's going to cover him? Because you are a middle of the field open, split field coverage, split field safety team, and you're playing palms to read, some type of quarters deal, to where you have to understand 3 vertical can be an issue. Okay, so what you're always going to do is you're going to align that middle safety off of a number 3. All right, if you got a 2-back set, and let's say that number 3 was the sniffer on this side, all right, and we got a 2-back set, our nickel is always going to go to the passing strength. So our nickel would go out here to the 2 receiver side. Our Mike and our Will can stay in the box now versus a 2-back set. And the number 3 is now technically over here. So with that being a number 3 receiver, I'm going to line my middle safety off of that number 3 receiver. Why? Because if we're 2 read here and now backside, it gives us the ability on the backside to play, all right, we can play sky, we can play a hard cover 2 version, we can play cone, okay, we can play what we call hawk, which is more of a quarters type deal, or a man deal with the safety being able to help. We've got the backside safety over here. We've got the extra number back here because we don't need anybody to come over and poach number 3. If you viewed this set as a possible trip set where 3 can get vertical, all right, or even if he was, let's say, a Y off and he's in a position where he can get vertical, now you don't have to worry about, do you need the backside safety to poach that? Your Mike linebacker doesn't have to worry about carrying that. So your Mike linebacker can be a hard run fit guy. He can fit everything the way you want him to fit it because he doesn't have to worry about 3 vert. Remember, if we're still 2 read out here, none of these players will have anything to do with 3 going vertical. So we need a player to match a 3 vertical. So the middle safety becomes that guy. So he's always going to take his alignment off of that number 3. And again, we're probably going to play him at about 8 yards deep, somewhere around there. And then based on the skill set of our player and their player, all right, we're going to change kind of what we're doing, how we're doing it. Okay, but he's really there in the pass distribution of a quarters or an adaptation to quarters 2 read. Middle of the field open, he's there as a guy to play 3 vertical. Okay, so if you got 3x1 sets, if they were, let's say, 3x1 removed, so if you got 3x1 sets where the 3, all right, the 3x1 was removed, now what we can do is we can go ahead and play our normal 2 read, and now we can line up this middle safety off of number 3 in a position to play him vertical. All right, and again, what will happen is we don't need anybody from the backside, so we can gain an extra player on the backside. Now, if we choose to roll this safety down so that we could possibly kick the guys in the box to give us a little bit more of a presence towards the trip side, all right, the bottom line is his alignment is always going to be taken off of number 3 because he's the guy that's trying to play 3 vertical. So again, middle of the field open, split field safety team, if we play 2 read, if we play our 2 read coverage to the 3x1, we have to understand that number 3 vertical is an issue. Now, any quarters system or 2 read, that would be the Mike linebacker or the inside linebacker to the trips. Well, when it's 3x1 removed, one of the reasons you have to have trips checks is you don't want, if the middle of the field is open and you're not using your safety on the backside to poach, you don't want your inside linebacker, who may have a primary run fit, to have to carry a 3 vertical that has speed. I don't like inside linebackers carrying verticals of guys with speed. Now we're replacing that. We're playing a guy kind of as a hybrid backer. Okay, he's a bigger body for us. The kid we're playing is about 6 foot 195 right now. All right, but he's also a receiver. He's a guy that can match a 3 vertical. So I'm okay if 3's going vertical. All right, I'm okay with matching him with my middle safety, and now it takes all the pressure off of my inside backers. The only thing my inside backers have to understand is if we're going to get a 4 strong. So if we get 4 strong, we might have to now involve the Mike linebacker in the coverage. All right, because if they're going to push 4 strong, somehow I've got to be able to get a 5th player over there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. If they go 4 strong, I need a 5th player to get over there so we can have 5-on-4. All right, and then 2-on-1 on the backside, or 3-on-2 or whatever. If they push 4 strong, they're not going to be able to get 2 to the backside unless somebody comes across. All right, so we want at least 2 for 1 on that backside. We always want a plus number in the passing game. So 5-on-4, 3-on-2, 2-on-1. So if 4 is strong, we would have to push. Now, you could still, by all means, you could still play 3x1 adjustments if you want to. All right, to where we could still play our mixed deal where we play man on number 1. All right, we could take for us we could take the nickel and play him back tighter to the box. We could play the left safety, and now the middle safety can play 2 read, and now we might be able to have, all right, a little bit stronger box, all right, to run game stuff, because now we are playing this it's very similar to the way we used to play our mixed coverage in 4-2-5. So if I were to draw up our 4-2-5 mixed coverage stuff, what you would end up seeing is you would end up seeing some type of version where the Mike was kicked out, the Will bumped into the box, and now we have kind of a 4-1 box. The Mike is going to be part of the run fit, and then somebody rotating down from the weak side. So we're still going to get 7 guys through the fit. If we don't need the backside safety to poach, okay, if we don't need him to poach and we can use just R3 so we can play 2 read off of these 2, we X out that player because we're playing a man. So now there's only 2 receivers left. So these 3 guys play 2 read like they would if the back's here. All right, he becomes the swing deep at 3. So if the back pushes, he's got to go. Willie would have to add 4 strong, add himself to the drop. Now we're going to play our 2 read concept with these 2 safeties back here, and they're going to do it off the number 2 and the number 3 receivers. So you can still have that adjustment built in. You could still play some type of kicked coverage. Okay, so with the middle safety, we could still take, all right, for us, we could play some type of rolled coverage, okay, or some type of kick coverage. So if we went back to our normal tight deal, if we went back to our normal tight front deal here, all right, and we had, let's say, our Mike and our Will, and we had our nickel here, we could play some type of rolled coverage where we take the left safety and play him off the half. We cloud the corner up here, and now we take the middle safety and we spin him down, and he becomes, all right, he becomes a hook player, and now we've got a flooded zone where we've got a flat player, a curl player, and a hook player. So if we were getting some spacing routes or some deals where they were hurting us underneath in our other coverages, we could add the middle safety down to become a hook player. Now he also gives us a little more presence in the run game, being down there when he drops down, because now he's not going to play 3 vertical. When we play that coverage, we would then poach the backside safety, would be the guy responsible for 3 vertical, and we would be stuck playing man-to-man with the Will and the corner, all right, because we had to take the backside safety and use him this way. Okay, so you can still build in 3x1 checks if you want to. You can still play your normal 3x1 deals and just make the middle safety responsible for 3 vertical. All right, but the middle safety, as far as the alignment is concerned, is always going to line up off of a number 3 because that is his pass distribution. That is his pass responsibility. He has to become that Mike linebacker. If 3 is vertical, he's got to play him. If 3 goes outside or pushes, he's got to nail down now and find the new 3 coming inside. All right, so if you got your standard, just so everybody's kind of straight on that and clear on that. You got your standard 2x2 sets with a push motion. All right, so they're going to go 2x2. A lot of teams do it, and they are going to push the back. All right, so the back's going to push maybe on down set. He's out there. He's trying to gain leverage, and you have what you call your swing deep of 3 player here. All right, when that back gets wider than him, he's got to match that leverage. So what happens now is you have to replace in a normal. All right, a normal split field structure, it would be your Mike linebacker that would now have to alert push, and he's got to look for that new 3. So let's say you got, this, your Mike would have to work to that snag route to find that new number 3. Well, when you play the middle high safety or the 3 high safety deal, you're doing the same thing, you're just doing it with this guy. So when 3 pushes, he knows it's an alert push, he's got to nail down and find the new 3 coming in because you're swing deep with 3 player expanded. So your middle of the field safety in the 3 high structure is always going to line up off number 3. In our base coverages, he'll have number 3 vertical all the time. In our base structure, we have obviously some other things that we do to change up the coverage deal. But in our base coverage structure, he'll have 3 vertical. If 3 is wide, he's going to be the guy to alert, push, and nail down and become the Mike linebacker. So the alignment is basically the same for our corner safeties and our nickel. They're going to do everything. They're going to do everything the same as they always would, and then our middle safety is going to be a guy that kind of replaces our Mike, and he's going to take his alignment off of number 3. We're playing him right now at about 8 yards deep. We'll see where we get to when the season and run fits come. We'll see if that works for us. And right now, depending on, we're playing him just outside of 3 if he's in the backfield, just inside of 3 if he's removed in a 3x1 set. So hopefully that helps with. Hopefully that helps you, DeMarcus. I know you asked the question. Hopefully that helps with alignment in a 3 high safety system. Remember that it's the same coverage structures we always talk about. The middle safety is just replacing the Mike. That's the easiest way to look at it. So always remember that if you can keep it that simple when you change something for your players. So we kept all the other coverages the same, and we just taught one guy how to play like a Mike. So it wasn't a new deal for us. It was different. But it's not a new deal for us because everybody else is playing the same coverages. We still play 2 read. We still play quarters. We still play some of our 3x1 adjustments. We still play the backside single the same way we always would. So, keep in mind when you're doing something like that, if it's really new for one player, then it's not that expensive to teach. And that's one of the reasons I felt like we could spend some time on it over the summer and get it installed, because it's really not new to teach when you're playing most of your base structures. So I appreciate everything you guys do for Play Fast Football. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, click that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on so you know every time I put out a new video or any time I go on YouTube Live, you'll get a notification. Always leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, positive, negative. If you like it or you don't like it, it helps us. The feedback helps me with the content, the presentation, how I deliver the content. And as always, just like DeMarcus did, if you have a question or a comment and it's something that I feel I can do justice or I can answer, I'll always respond to you. And if it's about a video and I can do the video justice, then I'll go ahead and do the video. So thank you, DeMarcus, for the comment. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your summer. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Enjoy your downtime with family and honoring the great country that we live in that allows us to do the things that we do every day. So enjoy your holiday, enjoy your holiday weekend. Hopefully summer training is going great for you guys. All right, again, I appreciate everything you do for Play Fast, and remember, you won't play well until you play fast.